Hi and welcome to another episode of Hot Takes with me, the Silver Fox. Very short. This is basically just a breaking news flash. A man has been arrested and charged with making homophobic comments towards the leprechaun. Patrick Harvie was giving an interview to the BBC the other day, and some man walking past, obviously I suspect he probably knew him because he described him perfectly and called him a deviant. And apparently that is now to be taken as hate crime, calling someone a deviant, even though his views on industry and the economy are at deviancy with the vast proportion of people. And so therefore calling him a deviant is perfectly correct. If on hearing that word, Patrick Harvie's mind goes straight to his own sexuality, that's more Patrick Harvie inferring rather than anyone actually making any comment. And it goes to show that Patrick Harvie's mind is purely fixated on his tiny, tiny dwarf-like penis. So we will have a very quick look at this just to see why this has happened. But as I say, it is just a breaking flash. There's very little detail, but I may cover this later in more detail as they emerge. But here goes. So, man charged with making homophobic comments towards Scottish Green co-leader Patrick the Leprechaun and pro-IRA supporter Harvie. The tiny little man with zero sense of humour and zero intelligence as well, it seems. Police Scotland confirmed officers arrested a 59-year-old man. And there's Harvie, this tiny little man with very, very strange views on the economy, on the environment, on everything. And all his views, as I say, are at deviance with the vast proportion of people. And so calling him a deviant is perfectly fine. I just think it's odd that his thoughts were straight away, oh, that must be homophobic. He must be very self-conscious of himself. But then he owns a mirror, and so must be very aware of what people think of him. A man has been arrested in connection with the alleged abuse aimed at Scottish Green co-leader Patrick Harvie. Again, you have to prove that it was aimed at him. Just calling a word out in the street doesn't mean it was aimed at him. There's a defence. Secondly, deviant does not mean sexual deviant. He did not say sexual deviant. He just said deviant. And thirdly, is it a hate crime to describe someone if that is your opinion? And freedom of speech allows you to express opinions. And all he has to do is claim that it is his deeply held philosophical belief. And he has a defence in law under the 2010 Equality Act. So there, I hope that helps the guy out immensely. It followed a campaign event for Rutherglen and Hamilton by-election, where the very strange little green man turned up to vote for his own, or not to vote, to promote his own party against the party that he's in government with, which again seems at deviancy with the rules laid down by the Butte House Agreement, which is odd. Anyway, the Greens unveiled their candidate for the seat on August the 22nd, someone who's going to waste a lot of money and time and effort in not getting a seat, because the Greens have never, ever won a seat. The Leprechaun of Leven was The Leprechaun Harvie was taking part in a TV interview when he was allegedly targeted by a passerby. So there's no actual proof he was targeted. Police Scotland launched an investigation after a complaint was made. Stamped his tiny little feet and was like, people call me names, they said. People calling me names, I don't like it, he said. The Herald reported a police spokesman saying, following a report of a homophobic comments, I didn't hear one, I just heard the word deviant, not homophobic. A 59-year-old man has been arrested and charged if, for example, he was maybe talking about many other forms of things. It doesn't say he was talking to Harvie. There's no echoes of him. A report will be sent to the Procurator Fiscal, who of course will immediately drop it. It goes to show how very thin-skinned this very tiny, tiny man is. He's a non-entity, and the sooner he's gone from politics, the better. But look at him, bless. He's filled with hate, of course. Hate for people who are taller than him, which is about 95% of the population. Hate for people which are cleverer than him, which again is about 95% of the population. Hate against people who don't admire the IRA, which again is most people. Hate against people who think that he is a little shit and a shart and a turd, all rolled into one, which is 99.999% of the people. I personally loathe him, and I can call him any name I like. I can do so safely, in the knowledge that this is my personal opinion. I'm not saying he is anything. I'm not saying that he's a complete and utter wanker. I'm not saying that. I don't believe it's right to call people complete and utter wankers. But it doesn't stop me having the opinion that he's a complete and utter wanker. And that's the difference. As long as I don't actually call him that, which I'm not calling him a complete wanker. He's not complete at anything, is he? Anyway, we'll leave the little shit alone. That's the little shit on my desk. I won't touch that little shit anymore. And we'll get back to the story here. It is said that you cannot polish a turd, but you can polish the top of his head. Make of that what you will. You see, the great thing is, language is wonderful if you use it correctly. So let's just look at him and admire this fine figure of an elbow. What a prick. Coming up. Now, of course, nowhere in that piece did it say that he was the one who brought charges, but you can guarantee it probably was. He's a sort, he stamps his feet and he doesn't like it when people call him names. You know, he's a little man. And I don't mean a little man because of short stature, which undoubtedly he has. But he's just a little man, isn't he? Inside, he's petty. He's trivial. He's nasty. He's vindictive. He cannot let anything slide. The whole world. He's got a chip on both shoulders, which is for him, is quite a major thing to carry. Because, I mean, for us, a chip is maybe that long. For him, it's like that. It's like that. He has to carry it on both shoulders. And he hates everything about his life. It must be awful to be Patrick Harvie. Imagine waking up every day, looking in the mirror, shaving your head, and saying, "Oh God, that's me. That's me." It must be awful. I mean, I truly would wonder if anything was worth it. I would probably take myself out of society. Because, sure, I know lots of short people. I like Susan Calman. Susan Calman. Taller than him, of course. But Susan Calman. I like Susan Calman. I mean, I know she's a bit left and all that. But she's funny. And she just comes across as a nice person. Harvie. No, he doesn't. Harvie comes across... I wouldn't spend time with him. Oh, well, certainly. I tell you what. I wouldn't let him sit alone with my child. That's all I'm going to say with that. I won't go any further with that one. I'm just going to say that. I certainly wouldn't let him sit with my dog. He comes across as just a nasty, nasty piece of work filled with his own self-importance. And he's got nothing. He's got no personal charm. There's nothing likeable about him. All he's got is his gob and his self-entitlement. And he's somehow fallen into a little position of power by the magic of Scottish politics. And he thinks he's God. Well, he's not. I'm going to go for a shit shortly. And I'm going to look at it. And I'm going to leave that image on the screen. Thanks for watching. Bye.